My name is Elijah Wilson. With me in the studio is Dorcas, Aisha, and Samuel, respectively. So last week we made mention of what we're going to be discussing today. So we briefly talked about the economy meltdown in Nigeria recently, how costly things are for Nigeria and her youth, most importantly. And we made mention of if we are considering those of us that are around that still have all it takes to work, and we are offshores of schools environment. So what about those that are in school, those that are in the NYSC camp, which brings us to the topic of discourse today, NYSC program. So there are so many people that have been calling for the scheme to be scrapped. So before we get into in-depth analysis about what we are going to be doing today, I have to go through a brief, let me say, a brief story of what the NYSC entails, how it came about, and the reason why it came on board, and all of those things. So the NYSC was created in the aftermath of the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970. The war had a devastating impact on the country and left Nigeria deeply divided amongst ethnic and regional lines. The NYSC was seen as a way to help heal the wound of the war and help promote national unity. The NYSC program is open to all Nigerian citizens who have graduated from a tertiary institution with a minimum of second class lower division. Core members are deployed to different parts of the country where they are required to work and live with people with different ethnic and religion background. In recent times, where many Nigerians have given reason why the scheme should be scrapped. May 24th, 2021, a bill was introduced by Awaji Inibek Abianti, PDP Rivers State, as at then. The bill was seeking to repeal Section 315, subsection 5A of the 1999 Constitution and National Youth Service Corps Act. Mr. Abianti cited insecurity, exploitation by place of primary assignment, and poor state of orientation camps, amongst other things, as reasons why the NYSC must be scrapped. However, Honorable Abianti didn't get the support needed for the bill to escape through. But he, however, left a lot for the Nigerian populace to contemplate and ponder upon. The then Deputy Director of Monitoring and Evaluation of NYSC, Grace Akpabio, quickly came to the defense of the NYSC, saying that those calling for the scraps were not objective, and basically submitted that people experience all of those mishappen, accident, insecurity, and the likes every now and then. She said you can be in your house and a plane will crash on top of your house. So death rate should not be pinned on the NYSC scheme. In other words, it doesn't really matter how you die, you're still gonna die anyway. So the scheme, we can't scrap the NYSC scheme on the ground of that. We'll take a listen to Grace Akpabio for refresher purpose.
I feel that the call to scrap the scheme is unfounded, especially when we are talking about insecurity. I know recently when some core members died on their way to camp, many parents made a lot of calls, but we know the situation of insecurity in Nigeria today. That people stay in their homes and there are plane crashes, and the plane crashes in people's homes and people die. There's no state in Nigeria that will say that there's no kidnapping going on. The insecurity is everywhere, so it has nothing to do with NYSC. So people really need to be objective.
So Dorcas, one would ask the question, where did empathy go really? What do you have to say? Aisha is already smiling. I haven't listened to Grace Akpabio. Dorcas.
Okay, good morning Benin City, and good morning my co-speakers and then anchor this morning. So why should NYSC be scrapped, and should NYSC be scrapped? I was asked this question during my service year while we were leaving. The batch C was leaving, and then they asked us, batch C 2022 was going to leave, and then they asked us questions. We picked questions at random, and my own question was, should NYSC be scrapped? If yes, why? If no, why? I just smiled and I was like, No, first of all, let me start with this. Sorry, I'm digressing. Before I answer the question, if you witchcraft or not, first of all, when I was in secondary school for the longest time, I saw these people in uniforms. This thing has been in existence for time immemorial. And then they celebrated, I think it was last year, late last year, they celebrated, was it 100 years or so? And sorry, is it about 50 years or so? And people were throwing in their white and black pictures, old school pictures, people that are married, and people were just relating back to their NYC experience and all of that. All right, so I answered the question and then I said it had been a dream for me as a young girl then in secondary school when we had coppers to come to our school, come talk to us and everything, and how we see them in buses traveling. The drivers always want them to be at the front seat so that policemen do not stop us on the way. You know, that prestige, that honor that was given to that was dressed that the NYC, the coppers were dressed with, was worth admiring and everything. And then I responded, and I am still going to respond. In my own opinion, NYC should not be scrapped. Because first off, before the scheme was created, there is a reason, there is a purpose, there is a core objective, and there are core values that is needed before NYC was formed or when it was formed. Now, I want to talk about the core values of NYC. At the heart of the NYC's success lies its unwavering commitment to 7 core values. And for every copper that will go out there, and every copper that has gone out there, and every 7 copper, everyone that has served, they will teach you on these core values. And then again, I know people that have made it, that have made themselves financially in businesses, and they've made their lives through this scheme. So if it doesn't work for your brother, your cousin, your relative, it doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. It has worked for several persons. So the core values, some of the core values, in case we don't know, they are discipline, integrity, dignity of labor, social justice, religious tolerance, self-reliance, and patriotism. So for me, it shouldn't be scrapped.
There are so many good side of NYC, like as you've said, but people will argue and say, isn't life comes first? What about the youth corps that travel as far as the northern state for hours? Sometimes they even spend a couple of days on the way. Some even get kidnapped, some accident, and they died while trying to go to their primary place of assignment.
Yeah.
So, Aisha, shouldn't that be a concern for the Nigerian society going forward with this NYC of a thing?
Okay. First, I'll say right now my mind is in a lot of chaos because I've not gone to serve, but I've met with a lot of people that have gone to serve. But then again, with the state of the country, I'll say the NYC should be scrapped. Reason being that currently we are facing a lot of financial insecurity and instability in the state, and is building up. The financial insecurity is building up a lot of chaos in the country. So looking at NYC youth leaving their state and going to one state and all of that for the purpose of serving, and at the end of the day they get killed or they get involved in some other kind of crime and that takes their life and all for that. And my point is, they are dying for what? That's my point. My point is, they are dying for what? Because right now, I know NYC is meant to serve the country. The purpose is to serve the country
and promote national
unity and all of that. Yes, there is a need for national unity. But what happens when the bad is overweighing the good? Is that a way of promoting national unity? For me, I don't think that's a way of promoting national unity, because at the end of the day, this country you are trying to serve and you are trying to unite is being destroyed by some set of people. You are pushing yourself as a cover to play your own part and serve the country, but for me, there's no country that you are serving.
Asha, there's no country. I know there is a country. Okay,
no
Samuel,
country,
I want to ask you a question. They say the NYC scheme is designed to promote national unity and all of those good things, like Doc has made mention of. Yeah. Okay, the question now is, is it really promoting that national unity, in the sense that there are core members that they will be deployed to a particular place of primary assignment, and what they do is to redeploy themselves back to their preferred place of assignment, which is absolutely possible. It's not very difficult. Money exchange hands and all of these things happen swiftly. So let's bring the question, how are we not promoting this national unity if, for instance, you send Mr. Elijah Wilson to Kano, he somehow redeploy himself back to Delta State? So what kind of national unity are we promoting?
Firstly, I would say the question you just asked right now is like, you say them deploying themselves back. To me, it's not promoting any national security. Because normally, if you had asked me a week ago, like, should NYSC be scrapped, I would 100% tell you yes. But during my week this week, I did some research and I found, just like what my colleague said, that there are some people growing up, they look forward to this NYSC this thing. So I feel that since NYSC is not mandatory, so I have the option to choose to do it or not to do it.
Is it not mandatory, Dorcas? Is it not mandatory? It's mandatory. Somehow it's somehow mandatory. Yeah.
But for some, I think there are exceptions where people take exemption.
Pregnant women and the likes. Yeah.
Wow, that is the first I'm hearing of it, because me, I really made my mind that
you will not go and
I'm not going for it.
It's not promoting. It's really not promoting any national unity.
At this point, right? At this point now, instead of these discrepancies of let's not fight that, like me and Aisha will have a fight. I say, Aisha, take your time. My children will go for NYSC, stuff like that. I feel like there should be a balance to this thing. Let it be optional.
Yeah, my thought exactly.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Let there be now this space where you now have to choose. Would I go or would I not go?
Instead of
using those age as barrier and the rest of it.
Instead of having to choose, should it not, the whole scheme as a whole, should it not be reformed? No, I'm not talking about scrapping it. Yeah, let's say
there are a lot of things that should be reformed in the scheme.
Alright.
Like, I know the NYSC objective is set down to promote unity, uplift as economic acceleration, all of that. But with this laid down objective, the NYSC is not achieving it. So there's a reason for it to be reviewed again and reformed. And some certain objective are laid down according to Decree 51 should be reviewed on. They should be realigned.